Deftones, Cherry Waves, POV, point of view, first person, guitar tabs, guitar lesson. Okay, so I'm going to be arranging this in a drop D tuning. They may very well have some other elaborate tunings going on, but we can actually get every note we need in just a straight up drop D tuning. Okay, works just fine. So we got the D, A, D, G, B, E, and I'll be throwing in some of these interpretations of like the keyboard parts here. And we can start with that, with just this first little line, which 3 notes, pretty simple. We'll just start here at the 5 on the B, hold that into the second measure, just before like the final beat of the second measure. Then we'll come over and hit the 7 on the high E, and then right into the next measure with a 6 on the B, and hold that through the remainder there. Alright, now we get some kind of layered guitars on top of each other here. The first one's just doing this real quick back and forth between a couple notes and then just shifts a note. So the first bit here is we'll have the 7 on the high E and the 5 on the B, and we just go, right between them, just like 7E, 5B, just keep it going. Alright, and then all we do is just take that 5 on the B and bump it up to a 6, keep the 7 on the E, and do the same thing. Alright, next guitar comes in and does this interesting bit. It kind of rests the first couple measures, and then it'll do 5 on the B. Okay, hold it into about the final beat of the second measure, hit it, and then we'll come up to 6 on the G. Come down to 8s on the B and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And just cycles that. For the pre-chorus, we just come in with this big overdriven A power chord. So pretty simple, we just do it here with the open A, 2 on the D and G, and we're just, down strumming that, 8th note style here. Alright, we just crank that up for a bit, and then at the very end we just do some like muted strings, like a 1, 2, 1, 2. And for the chorus, this is kind of where like having the big like drop D works nicely. And so we'll basically do that, a big D power chord. So open low D, and then we do the 5A, 7 on the D and G here. And we're just strumming that kind of the same way as the pre-chorus, just down strumming 8th notes. Okay, about a couple measures worth there, and then zoom over to a B power chord, so just 2A, 4 on the D and G. Same type of strum and timing with that one. Back to that D power chord. And the first chorus here, we kind of end it by doing that final measure and a half of that D power chord, but then we hit this little transitional like F sharp power chord, just 4s here on the low D and the A, and we just hit it, kind of just one strum of it, let it hold a beat, and then we zoom over to that B power chord, hit it once, and just let that ring. And we get a nice little keyboard line between after the first chorus there, and kind of segueing into the next section. We could do it here up at the high E, the 9. We go 9, 10, 9, hold that for a beat or two, then go 10B, 10G. And once we're into the second chorus, we can kind of carry out the D to B progression a little more, and we end it a little different, where we kind of do that same about measure and a half of the D power chord. We hit our little transitional 4th fret power chord, but then we just get to that B power chord and just keep it going. And at the end of that measure and a half or so of B, then we come off to just a 1 beat of an A power chord. And then we could just loop it from there. the bridge section here, we come over to this E power chord, and this is kind of really where we feel like we need that D, drop D, because we get this little transitional open low D power chord where we'll do a couple strums of this E at the 2nd fret, like a 1, 1, 2. Then we come off to the open low D. And that's really where, like, you know, if you're listening to the song, you're like, oh, okay, it's in drop D, or you at least need to know that you're going to go down to that D. So just a beat of that, and then we come over to the F power chord at the 3rd fret here on the low D and A. And with this one, we hit it, and then we'll hit it again, but when we hit it again, we'll kind of include, say, like the open G and B as we're just strumming it a few times. Okay, something like that. Just trying to include some of those open higher strings there. You know, preferably like the G and B string there. And then just come off to another transitional beat of that open low D power chord. And at the end of the bridge, we kind of get these big E power chords going on. The first one's like an E with the suspended 4 there, and it's just kind of hanging on it for a bit, down strumming it, and then resolves it just to like the regular E here. So like the 7A, 9 on the D, G, B there, strumming that. On the B, we'll have a 10 initially, so we get that suspended 4. Alright, and like I said, just strumming that out, and then just lift the pinky off so it's a 9 at the B, and everything stays the same.